Hi everyone! So it's now autumn season and I love autumn. I just love the coolness of it. I really wanted to do an updated what's in my bag because this is one of those classic YouTube videos that will never get old for me. But then I kind of thought, I don't know, I wanted to bring something a little bit different. I guess that what's in my bag would be cool, but maybe a different kind of what's in my bag. So seeing as it's back to school season and a lot of people are starting a lot of new things in their lives, especially new courses and new work and new jobs, I thought it would be good to bring to you a what's in my interview bag. I've been to 101 interviews over the last 2 months, and I think I've come to being somebody who's now quite aware of the kind of things that you need to bring to an interview. Now obviously every interview is different. You have casual ones, you have more stricter ones, so it does depend, especially with the industry that you're going to go into. So my interview bag looks like this. So this is a bag that I got from ASOS, and again, if you guys know me, you know ASOS is ultimately like the best shop in the world for me. This is just a really simple bag. As you can see, it's very well structured, really simple, nothing much going on because it's an interview bag. You don't want too much going on, you don't want it to be really distracting, or you want it to be quite simple, quite smart. Structure is always going to win because it just looks professional. So I would recommend getting like a bag with both a handle and a satchel strap, just because, especially if you're going to travel and you don't drive and you need to take public transport and you've got to walk, sometimes using a handle gets a bit hefty, so sometimes you just want to swing it over your shoulder and get out the door. Public transport is just a nightmare when it comes to bags, so make sure you've got a sturdy one and one that's going to keep all of your valuables safe on the inside. Yeah, with this bag it's got one main compartment, and I think that's good because you don't want to be rummaging around in all your different compartments for your different things. If you just open it up and everything's there, then you'll know exactly what's in it and exactly what isn't. So the first thing obviously is my phone. I guess phones, as we know, is a no-no when it comes to interviews. If your phone is switched on, or if your phone goes off in an interview, you might as well just say goodbye to that job. But definitely, if you're going to interview, make sure you switch off your phone as soon as you enter the building. Do not leave it any later than that, otherwise you will forget, because it almost happened to me and I just almost kicked myself, because sometimes you could actually lose a job, you could lose an opportunity just because your phone has gone off in an interview. It's unprofessional and it's just very disruptive. This manky purse I need to get rid of. I've said this in so many videos before, but especially when, you know, sometimes you have a lot of things in your bag, it's easy to lose sight of some important things. If you have tickets in your bag or in your purse that you need to grab if you're getting a train, having a purse that you can see, that's really visible, is really helpful. That's why I've kept hold of this manky neon purse, because I can see it in my bag and I won't be like rummaging wondering where my purse is. So that's the reason I've still got hold of it. And this notebook was gifted to me by my sister, I think for, I'm assuming it's for a birthday. When you're interviewing, you really, I don't think you should turn up to an interview without a notebook, in case they give you all this important information. And sometimes you do need to jot it down, and it looks impressive if you're able to whip out a notebook and make the notes while they're there, because then they know that you've been organised and you thought about that kind of thing. This notebook is so cute as well, and I just love the little phrase on the front that says "let's do this," because for me, sometimes you just need that extra motivation when you're doing an interview and you just need to get into it and say, yeah, let's do this. So that really motivates me. A pad of post-it notes, and again, for the same reason as having a notebook, this is even more of a compact form. So if you're somebody that's really drawn to like figures or images, you can quickly scribble something on this, whip it off and stick it somewhere, and then maybe you'll be able to remember it. I have 12 of these stuck inside of my notebook right now, because some things I just need to see it in a more compact form. It helps me to remember it when I'm talking about it in an interview. What would you be without a pen? I'm quite lucky enough not to have ever gone to an interview without having a pen. It's quite embarrassing though if you do end up going in unprepared and they want you to write something down and then you can't even produce a pen for yourself. It's quite bad to be able to say to your potential employer that you don't have a pen on you. It's one of those things that you have to have. It's something, just throw in your bag, you know, it will come in use one day. I find that afterwards, when I go to interviews, I have this really horrible dry, like white, like substance on my lips, and I think it's where my lips have dried out, or I don't know, like in interviews I get so nervous and then I just get this horrible white thing on my lips, and it's really bad and it's quite embarrassing actually. I have Vaseline here because sometimes, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, I think it's nerves, but my lips always go really dry. My mouth goes really dry when I'm talking, especially when I'm talking consistently. So for me, this is a must. I always make sure I have this because dry lips is not attractive. And if someone's going to be looking in your face for an hour, 2 hours, then they're going to spot your lips and they're going to spot them looking really cracked. You know, you get nervous, you start sweating. Yeah. Good smells is always great. So deodorant is definitely have. A little one is good as well. It doesn't take up a lot of space. If you're traveling, hand gel, definitely you do need some hand gel. So I've had a few interviews in London recently, and if you know anything about London and you know everything about the underground, you'll know it's the most unhygienic, disgusting system probably in the whole of the city. Because cities, I mean, you could be in London, you could be in Paris, you could be in New York. I'm sure that every city has a manky system, like especially underground. So just be safe, guys. We don't want to catch like infections and all kinds of stuff, especially when you want to get back to work. So just keep that hand gel in there. It will probably help you out in a big way. I don't usually like wearing lipstick or lip glosses to interviews, again because of my dry lip issue. When I'm wearing lip colours on my lips and my lips get dry, it just looks disgusting, and I don't want to draw attention to my dry lips, so most times I don't bother. I just slap on some Vaseline and that does the job. I mean, if I was maybe in like the fashion industry or I was doing more of a creative role, I probably would bust out this lip because it's really nice. I love coconut and cream spray, and I remember getting my sister to buy this for me because I couldn't find it anywhere. Like all the shops that are around me don't stock this anymore. So usually what I like doing, especially in the morning when I'm getting ready, is I'll spray a stronger scent on myself, so something that's going to hold throughout the day, and then maybe when I get to the interview and I can't smell it anymore, I might just top up a tiny bit on something like this. Now coconut is not offensive. I mean, if you use something like musk or something really heavy, then you might, you know, knock the senses off of your potential employer. And as good as it is to smell good, I don't think it's good to be like overpowering smelly. Yes, I have my keys obviously in my bag. This water bottle is amazing. So this is, I got this on eBay, but basically it's a silicone water bottle. The good thing about this is that you can fill it up, as you can see here, but as you drink it, obviously you're able to it's like kind of shrink, so you can crush it up. It bends in all directions, so it's really easy. So when I'm finished drinking this, perhaps on the train, I might take a good swig of it, that it actually decreases in size so that it doesn't take up so much room in your bag. It's just one of those things that I think everybody should have. So I'll put a link in the down bar if you want something like this and you think this would be handy. You don't want to get your interview clothes wet because you don't have time to go home and change. So just protect yourself. Take an umbrella anyway. I know a lot of people say, oh, umbrellas are like bulky, but it will save you. If you happen to get caught in a downpour, you know, what can you do if you're soaking wet? So just take it anyway, you know, you never know. I promise you this is not bird feed. Rice crackers and a little bit of cream crackers. And this is just kind of for a bit of energy. I'd say if you're going to eat a snack, I've done this before, do not eat chocolate because chocolate gets stuck in your teeth. I actually did this once before I had an interview, and I was like spending the first 5 minutes before I go into the interview trying to clean the chocolate out of my teeth. This is so important, especially if you're going for like an art fashion job. You'll need a portfolio. So I'm sure everybody knows this, but I guess you want to show your work, you want to show what you've been doing, you want to show your interest. So I definitely recommend print out a whole load of things that you've done for other companies. You know, you want to be that person that when you're talking in an interview and you're talking about your experiences, you could be like, oh, I have one I made earlier, do you want to see it? And you know, you want to be that person that everyone's like, whoa, okay, they came interested, they came to get this job. Obviously don't whip it out just because you can throw it in there. Make sure that it's relevant, and that if you're talking about something that maybe demands an example, especially if it's on paper, then remember that your portfolio might actually give you that extra edge on another candidate, for instance. So in mine, I've just got a range of things, from images that I've produced to like documents that I've produced, to sort of like projects and stuff, to emails. You know, sometimes if they want to hear about, for instance, like how have you showed initiative, are you a proactive person, what is your relationship like with your employees, maybe you can print off some emails that demonstrate how people have responded to you and what they've said to you about your work, if you've done a good job, if they've congratulated you about something. You know, it's evident. A glasses cleaner is a must. Make sure your glasses are streak free when you go into an interview. And I also have my headphones in here as well. Again, this is literally for my journey when I want to listen to music, and especially when I just want to calm down. If I feel really nervous, then I let music kind of be my therapy, because music always helps me. Or if I want to listen to like an inspirational podcast to get me in an interview spirit, you know, to kind of get me motivated or whatever, then that's also a good thing as well. That's actually it. I have an empty bag with like lots of receipts, though you don't really want to see that. But yeah, that's ultimately it. That's all that was in this bag. That's the video, guys. I hope that helped you, especially if you're kind of like, I have no idea what to bring to an interview. And if you are interviewing this season, then good luck, best of luck to you. I hope that you get the job that you want. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.